Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video. Today we are looking at We Are the Caretakers, which is in early access from tomorrow, the 22nd of April. It's a RTS style survival based game where you basically look after the Rons, which is basically essentially like the Rhino. That's their entire job. Also, as a note, 10% of all sales goes to a Rhino charity of this game, which is kind of cool. And it's really interesting. There's a few issues I've got with it, which I will dive into when I get into the game. But again, it's early access, so they can maybe change those. We're going to have a look at the options menu, because there isn't really a huge amount to sort of look through here. Although what I will say is I do like the naming of the graphical settings. I always like it when they kind of change it up a bit. So you've got good, beautiful, and fantastic. However, outside of that, there aren't really many options for you to really dive into, and it would be nice if they could expand on that. This game has the potential to be very, very pretty, and the fact that you can't like change that and have those graphic settings in there is a bit of a letdown. Aside from that, it's a pretty damn good survival type RTS game. So let's jump in and see what it's all about. Alright, so you get a number of screens on this game. You've got three main modes. You've got this area, which is where you do all your research. And you've got your atrium here, which is where you can see your visitors and your recruits. And you've got different things that you can do with the ones that you've detained throughout the mission, and you can decide whether you want to keep them, let them go, bribe them, get rid of them, whatever. And then you've got your teams here, which is where you can select what teams you want and where you want to add them, and you've got your bench, and you can make a new crew. And then basically when you get into the game, the more crew you've got, the better, basically. So it's kind of cool. It's nice that they have this as an option. It can make your team stronger, but again, it will cost more of your coins in the top right hand corner the more team members you've got going on. Then you've got this area. This is the main mission selection screen. Some of them are just dialogue and some of them are actual missions. I think these ones here are the dialogue buttons. Yeah, story mission, which will progress. The story itself is interesting. There are RPG elements where you have to choose and select, and the way that the game goes on, it gives you, you can either ask for forgiveness if you've got enough, or you've got things which will give you reputation or research or straight up coins. So it's interesting in that, because that dictates where the story goes, which I like. However, the story itself, the missions do seem rather linear. It's just a case of what resources you get in order to continue. And luckily, the story missions aren't that in-depth, and I can skip through them so you don't get any spoilers. But yeah, you've got to basically do all the missions to complete the era, which is like the big boss mission, and then you continue. I don't know how in-depth this early access version is, but it does give that there's going to be a lot going on. Like, they're going to introduce more things going around. So I am quite impressed with this game. It's very in-depth. It's very, very good indeed. And it's done well. And then we click off it, and we click on that, and we begin the mission. What I will say is that the loading times of the mission screens and stuff are a bit odd, in that sometimes they load straight in with no issues. Other times it seems to take a while to get into the game, which is a bit weird. So, this is the mission. You've got to protect the Ron, which are basically the rhinos. That's your job. And the way it works is that you walk around the map, and all these sections are different areas, right? And you have to scout those areas before you can traverse them. And you get bonus points or bonus missions where you've got to basically scout a number of areas. You've then got your main mission as well, and you get a certain amount of time in order to do it. You can add more people, like I say, for more coins. I've got 4,956 here, so I'm gonna dump them all in, and we'll deal with it. And then what is annoying is you have to send them out separately. Like, you can drag and select, but you can only ever select one group at a time. And that can be a little bit frustrating if you want to send them all into the same boss. You've got to basically wait for them to traverse. You then move around the map, and in doing so, you can find these little areas, and you can disarm traps, which makes it, you know, safer for the Ron to run around. And you take your team. There are battles, and like I say, one of the things that does bug me with this game a little bit is that the battles take way too long. So I'm going to rush all the way up here so I can find these poachers, so I can show you how the battle system works. Oh, they're not poachers. They're the Rowan. They're the ones that we need to keep safe. Never mind. But yeah, so I'm going to try and show you a battle. So what I'll do is I will run around, and when we get into a battle, we will fade in, and I will explain how the battle system works. Okay then, so we're in combat. You can have auto battle on for the lesser guys here, but I'm not going to do that because I want to show you how it works. It is turn-based combat. As you can see, my guys are all on the left and their guys are on the right. You've got will and you've got stamina. Stamina does tend to be the easiest way to kill them, but basically you have to get one of those stats down to 0. When they're down to 0, you can then capture them. You get them in rounds, and this is kind of what slows the pace of it down. Because you've got to go through this, and then you've got to wait for the round to end, and then you've got to do the next round, and instead of just having it turn-based all the way, which is a bit annoying. Now, obviously, doing it with auto battle on does make it a bit better, but it just seems to take very long, especially when you consider the fact that I'm not doing a huge amount of damage. It does seem to take its time, and it makes the battles seem a little bit not boring, but at the same time boring. The fact that they've all got different skills, you've got some that support, some that do more damage, some that go AoE. You know, it's not all bad, and I love the animations are different, and I love how in-depth it is, and the battles so far have actually been quite difficult. The last boss took me 3 goes to actually kill them. So yeah, at the minute, rushing them down seems to work, and just letting it on auto seems to work as well. But I would say that the pacing and having to start each round and do that could probably be streamlined a little bit, and maybe make it so that the enemies either aren't so tanky, or that you do a little bit more damage early on, so that you can get through these battles a little bit quicker. Because it does feel a bit, you know, you've gone around, you've done your research, you've done your scouting, and then you come to this and it takes 15 minutes to do one battle with constantly pressing the same sort of buttons and stuff like that. It just, I don't know, it feels like it could just be smoother and work a bit better. But that's the game, guys. It's really in depth. I love the way it looks. I love the way it acts. I love the story behind it so far. I like the premise that the entire thing around you is to protect wildlife, and you're very, very, very committed to this cause. It is basically a totalitarian thing where if you are caught doing anything bad, then the leader of this group wants to execute you. He does not want you alive for doing it, and I like that stance. I like the way that it does that. Graphics wise, it's very pretty. And yeah, it's a really interesting concept for a game. I just think that it could maybe be a little better at being streamlined, and maybe making it so that, so far the tutorial's been good, and it does tell you exactly what you need to do, and it does it very well, but it's just, I don't know, it's a pacing issue for me. But it's in early access, and hopefully they will change this. This is weird as well. Why are they running around in a circle when I told them to pick something up? That's a little weird. But yeah, so there it is, guys. We are the Caretakers. It comes out tomorrow on early access. Feel free to give it a look. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like I say, it's got RPG elements, it's got RTSV elements, it's got real-time combat, which is turn-based. It's got day and night cycles. it's got research, it's got a lot of things going on. It's a very ambitious project, and again, 10% of all sales do go to saving the rhinos, which is a very noble cause. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Let me know if you're going to try this game out. And yeah, I hope to see you all next time. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Ciao, ciao.